That's right. Not all success stories in Hollywood end with champagne toasts and red carpets. Some of the biggest stars in showbiz have risen from poverty to wealth, only to crash in the most heartbreaking ways. These stories aren't just about addiction, bad investments, or mental health struggles, but also about shocking falls that led to unimaginable homelessness. Fame doesn't guarantee stability, and for some, everything spirals into homelessness. While some stars manage to claw their way back to the top, others aren't as fortunate. Let's dive into the stories of stars who lost everything and ended up on the streets. Make sure you're ready to witness the surprising fates of these showbiz figures. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any exciting videos. Margot Kidder, the legendary Superman star, was once royalty in Hollywood, rubbing elbows with icons like Richard Pryor and Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. However, in 1996, her story took a turn that even screenwriters couldn't have imagined. Instead of soaring high alongside the Man of Steel, she was found wandering the streets of Los Angeles, missing teeth and sleeping in cardboard boxes. The glamorous life of a silver screen star vanished as she fell into homelessness due to undiagnosed bipolar disorder. She lived on the streets in a remote area of Glendale, California, where she had to beg strangers for cigarettes, and was helped by kind-hearted individuals who took her to temporary shelters. Eventually, authorities and her family intervened, taking her to a psychiatric facility where she received the treatment she desperately needed. Margot refused to let these hardships define her. She transformed her battle into a mission, becoming a strong advocate for mental health awareness. She famously said, "We're all just one breath away from mental illness." Margot's story is not just a warning, but also a testament to resilience, proving that even after hitting rock bottom, we can find a way back. Erin Moran, who became famous for her role as Joni Cunningham in Happy Days, seemed to have it all: fame, money, and a position in one of America's favorite sitcoms. However, just a few decades later, her life took a completely different turn. Her story became a cautionary tale. After spending lavishly, Erin lost her home in California in 2010. Gone were the Hollywood mansions, gone were the opportunities to return, and all that was left was a one-way ticket to a trailer park in Indiana, living with her elderly mother-in-law. But even that didn't last. After many wild nights, she returned home drunk and got into a fight with her mother-in-law, who had no hesitation in kicking her out. From being a famous star, she became homeless, hopping from one motel to another. Her life took a tragic turn when she was found wandering, unrecognizable, near a rundown motel. Rumors circulated that she had died from a heroin overdose, but the reality was even more heartbreaking. Erin passed away in 2017 from cancer, after a life full of ups and downs and being forgotten by Hollywood. Her story serves as a reminder that fame can fade, wealth can disappear, and a fairy tale ending in Hollywood is never guaranteed. Dana Plato, the star of the hit sitcom Different Strokes, had a promising career beginning at the age of 14. However, behind the bright lights of fame, she struggled with substance abuse. When the show ended, the stability in her life vanished as well. She was arrested for drug and alcohol addiction, prescription forgery, and even robbed a video store in 1991. Plato went to prison for rehab and was later found wandering between motels in Oklahoma in 1999, completely broke and homeless. Though she claimed to be clean, after an interview with Howard Stern, things spiraled further out of control. Less than 24 hours later, Dana Plato tragically died from a drug overdose, ending a life that never had the happy ending it deserved. Her story remains one of the most heartbreaking and cautionary tales in Hollywood. Lonnie Willison, once a famous fitness model who graced the cover of Fame magazine and was married to Baywatch actor Jeremy Jackson, seemed to have it all. However, her life took a dramatic turn after her divorce from Jeremy and a series of personal struggles. Lonnie spiraled into substance abuse, and her life became a whirlwind of chaos. She found herself battling to survive in difficult circumstances, and her once glamorous Hollywood life was replaced by a painful descent. Her story serves as a stark reminder of how quickly the glitz and glamour of fame can be overshadowed by personal collapse and tragedy. Lonnie Willison's story is a tragic reminder of how quickly life can change from being a dream to a nightmare. Once a successful fitness model, her journey spiraled downward after personal struggles, including her divorce from Jeremy Jackson and battles with substance abuse. Living on the streets of Venice Beach, she became entangled in bizarre claims, including accusations of electrical shocks and mental health struggles. Her life, once filled with opportunity, was overtaken by addiction, leaving her trapped in a cycle of hardship and confusion. This heartbreaking tale underscores the devastating effects of addiction and mental health issues, reminding us that fame and success can quickly be overshadowed by personal turmoil and tragedy. Extravagance does not always lead to happiness. In the mid-1990s, MC Hammer faced financial turmoil. After witnessing the decline of his career and the changes in the music industry, he could no longer sustain his excessive spending. In 1996, he filed for bankruptcy with debts of $13 million, marking a painful turning point in his career. MC Hammer did not let this financial setback bring him down, however. He continued to develop his career as a producer and entrepreneur, as well as participating in charity projects. MC Hammer's story is a reminder of the impermanence of success and the importance of smart financial management, especially in a rapidly changing industry. However, as musical trends changed, his bank account began to dry up. Despite this, MC Hammer didn't give up. He moved into a modest home, became smarter with managing his finances, and began organizing concerts, returning as an entrepreneur and investor. His story proves that even after a financial collapse, you can still make a comeback. John Michael Vincent was once a Hollywood heartthrob in the 70s and 80s, best known for his leading role in Airwolf. However, his real-life story was far from a glamorous, action-packed adventure, instead resembling a slow-motion shipwreck, driven by addiction and poor decisions. In 1977 and 1979, he was arrested multiple times for cocaine possession. He also faced charges for drunk driving and aggravated assault. Wild partying and car accidents left him seriously injured, ultimately losing a leg and relying on a prosthetic or a wheelchair. His addiction cost him everything: his career, his wealth, and even his home. In the later years of his life, he lived homeless, wandering rural areas of Mississippi and North Carolina, far from the Hollywood spotlight. John Michael Vincent passed away at the age of 74. A relic of a bygone era and a cautionary tale of how fame can fade when internal demons take over. Leif Garrett, a teen idol in the 70s, once had it all: fame, money, and a handsome face on every magazine. But behind that dreamy smile was a disaster waiting to unfold. At just 14 years old, he started using drugs. By 18, he caused a car accident while driving drunk, leaving his best friend paralyzed for life. His career began to crumble as his drug addiction worsened. By 2001, he filed for bankruptcy, left with only a few clothes, some household items, and $350 in cash. From a teen heartthrob, Leif Garrett became homeless, with a criminal record linked to drug offenses and multiple rehab stints. His situation became so bad that Sharon Osbourne joked he was living under a bridge. Leif Garrett's story is a stark reminder of the fading of fame and the downfall of former stars. From teen idol to a tragic cautionary tale, David Cassidy is a stark reminder that fame can fade quickly when poor choices accumulate. As a teen sensation in the 70s, his face graced magazine covers, his voice echoed across stadiums, and the Partridge Family made him a household name. However, behind that perfect image was a life filled with pain and mistakes. Broken marriages, turbulent relationships, and a battle with alcohol addiction dominated the headlines. His career gradually faded, and in 2010, he was arrested for driving under the influence, a wake-up call he failed to answer. Cassidy's struggles worsened as he admitted to being an alcoholic, and his life spiraled further into scandal and legal troubles. His story stands as a testament to the fading of fame and the chaotic life that even a teen star couldn't escape. Mindy McCready, the country music star who once captured the hearts of fans with her famous hits, lived a life full of glamour. Yet behind the spotlight, she fought battles she couldn't win. Legal struggles, addiction, and personal losses spiraled her life into chaos. Despite multiple stints in rehab, her efforts to recover were always overshadowed by the weight of her troubles. A devastating loss, the tragic death of her boyfriend, left her completely broken. Just a month later, she was found unable to cope with the pain, and her life fell apart completely. Her battle for custody of her children was the final straw, causing her to lose what little stability she had left. Mindy's story ended in heartbreak, serving as a painful reminder that even if you're a famous star, personal battles can still overwhelm you at any time. Ray Williams, once a star in the NBA as the captain of the New York Knicks and a key player in the 1985 Boston Celtics finals, faced a heartbreaking twist after retiring. Rather than enjoying a fulfilling post-retirement life like many of his former teammates, Ray was found sleeping in his Buick car at Pompo Beach, Florida. This was a shocking fate for someone who once dominated the court. Unlike many athletes, Ray didn't lose all his wealth to gambling or reckless spending. His downfall appeared to be a combination of bad luck and a broken system. He publicly criticized the NBA for its lack of support for retired players, stating, "When I played the game, they always talked about loyalty to the team, so where is the loyalty and compassion for the retired players suffering now?" His words reflect the failure of the system, as well as the difficulties athletes face when their post-career lives are not properly supported. The harsh truth is that not every sports legend is guaranteed safety after their career ends. Financial struggles force them into bankruptcy, and despite multiple efforts, they continue to fight to keep jobs when they no longer compete. Their heartbreaking journeys end in darkness, with some passing away in obscurity. A clear example of this is the story of Bobby Driscoll. Bobby Driscoll was not only a child star but also Disney's golden boy, voicing Peter Pan and winning an Academy Award for his role in The Window in 1950. However, his Hollywood fame was short-lived, and as he entered his teenage years, the industry no longer had a place for him. After his acting career stalled, Bobby turned to substance abuse and eventually ended up in prison. Although he was released, he couldn't escape his addiction and struggled to find steady work. In a later interview, he admitted, "I became a freak and homeless. I have no place to live. I don't live anywhere." From being a star admired by millions, Bobby had nothing left. No money, no home, no career. His story tragically ended in 1968, when his body was found in an abandoned building in Manhattan with no identification and no one to claim him. He was buried in an unmarked grave on Hart Island. His death went unnoticed by the public until 1971, when reporters searching for him discovered that Hollywood had long forgotten him. Barkley wasn't just a boxer, but a three-time world champion, defeating legends and building a $5 million fortune in the 80s and 90s. However, outside the ring, he faced some heavy blows. In 2010, the former champion found himself homeless, sleeping in subway cars and budget motels. His once glorious career became a cautionary tale. Barkley didn't fall into drugs or gambling, but rather it was poor financial decisions and reckless spending of the millions he had earned. Without a steady income, he fell into poverty and unemployment. His niece took him in for a while, giving him a place to stay. However, when she could no longer provide for him, he returned to living on the streets and in subway cars. A shocking turnaround for someone once in the spotlight. But thanks to non-profits like Bronx Works and Ring 10 Boxing, Barkley found housing and began to get back on his feet. Now, he spends his time coaching young boxers, passing on his knowledge and experience to the next generation. Barkley's story is not only about loss, but also about resilience, proving that even after severe challenges, a true champion always finds a way to rise again. Natasha Lyonne rose to prominence in the 90s with her roles in iconic films like Beverly Hills Gangster, But I'm a Cheerleader, and American Pie. However, behind her sharp wit and indie fame was a series of self-destructive days that almost cost her everything in the early 2000s. Lyonne's life spiraled out of control, with an arrest for driving under the influence in 2001. By 2005, things took a darker turn when she was reportedly kicked out of her Park apartment, struggling with addiction. Those years of self-destruction were painful, but Natasha Lyonne managed to reclaim herself, overcoming major challenges to continue her career and return to the public eye, proving that even after mistakes, you can rise from failure. Natasha Lyonne was once the queen of Hollywood, beloved for her iconic roles. However, her career shattered when she faced addiction, hepatitis C, pneumonia, and heart infections caused by methadone use. Her years in the grip of drugs and struggles nearly made her disappear from the industry, replaced by troublesome headlines and criminal mugshots. But Natasha didn't give up. She fought to make a comeback, cleaning up her career and turning her wild past into inspiration for her roles. She created and produced Russian Doll, a project deeply inspired by the struggles she endured. Recently, she impressed audiences in the leading role of Hollywood's Poker Face crime series. Natasha's story is a living testament to resilience, proving that sometimes the peaks of redemption can surpass even the most dramatic movie plots. Witnessing Natasha's life story, we can't help but feel regret for such an incredible talent who lost it all due to falling into addiction. What are your thoughts on this story? Feel free to leave a comment and share your perspective with us. If you're interested in learning more about another story, let us know. Danny Bonaduce, the breakout child star from the Partridge Family, has become a cautionary tale after years of battling addiction, homelessness, and health issues. Although famous from a young age, he faced a turbulent life, and as an adult, he found himself living in his car, right near the iconic TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. He even joked, "People still recognize me, but no one knows I'm living behind a trash bin." Despite this, Danny didn't give up. He reinvented himself, becoming a radio host in Seattle, finding love, and getting married. However, his life took another turn when he was diagnosed with a serious neurological condition, forcing him to retire after brain surgery. Danny's story is one of ups and downs, from Hollywood stardom to rock bottom and back again, proving that sometimes the real-life comeback is crazier than anything seen on screen. Houston McTeer, known as the fastest man in the world, once broke the world record for the 100-yard dash in just 9 seconds while still in high school. Rising from humble beginnings in Florida, he reached the peak of his career, trained under legends like Muhammad Ali and Harold Smith. By 1978, he had become a sports star, appearing on the cover of Sports Illustrated and qualifying for the U.S. Olympic team in 1980. However, misfortune struck when the U.S. boycotted the Olympics, dashing his dreams of competing. Following this setback, his life spiraled into crisis, and McTeer struggled with addiction, eventually becoming homeless for nearly 3 years. He slept on the Santa Monica beach, relying on meals from the Claire Foundation, a local charity. Houston McTeer's story is a classic example of downfall due to bad luck and poor choices, but also a testament to resilience and the ability to recover from the biggest of falls. Brett Butler, the actress best known for her lead role in Grace Under Fire, was once one of the biggest names on television. However, behind the laughter was a constant battle with addiction, which led to her financial downfall. Hollywood turned its back on her, and life on a farm in Georgia seemed like a fresh start. Yet she found herself struggling financially and even had to live in a homeless shelter. After a period of being out of the public eye, she made a comeback, participating in reality TV and slowly returning to the stage. Brett's story is a testament to the fact that in showbiz, nothing is permanent, and recovery can happen even when it feels like you've lost everything. Willie Ames, a television heartthrob from 8 is Enough, and Charles in Charge, was earning over $1 million a year at the peak of his fame. However, in a shocking turn of events, he lost everything: his career, bank accounts, wife, and even his child. After losing it all, he became homeless, sleeping in parking lots and parks, questioning how his life had taken such a turn. Despite these setbacks, Willie Ames didn't stay down for long. He picked himself up, became a financial advisor, learned about money management, and continued his acting career. His story is one of the rare comebacks in Hollywood, proving that after losing everything, you can still rewrite your ending. Rocky Lockridge, a former boxing champion, was once a knockout fighter, but his career ended in tragedy. After retiring, Lockridge fell into crack addiction, losing his family and all of his savings. His life spiraled into crisis, leading to a 27-month prison sentence for theft. After his release, he spent nearly a decade homeless. His life was a series of painful punches, not only from the boxing ring but also from life itself. He suffered a stroke, leaving one side of his body weakened. Lockridge's story is a heartbreaking reminder that even the strongest warriors aren't invincible when life presents challenges beyond imagination. Marvin Gaye was not just a singer, but a soul music icon. With his visionary talent, he brought the world timeless classics like What's Going On and Sexual Healing. However, Marvin Gaye's life was also filled with tragedy. After reaching the peak of his music career, he faced personal struggles, including family tensions and addiction. Ultimately, his life ended in tragedy when he was shot and killed by his father in 1984. Marvin Gaye's story serves as a reminder of the challenges even legends must face, and how the harshness of life can affect anyone. Marvin Gaye, with a voice powerful enough to move mountains and music that shaped the sound of Motown, became a legend. However, behind his brilliant music career was a man struggling with addiction, bankruptcy, and deep family conflicts. Despite achieving great success, Gaye's personal life was far from glamorous. He battled substance abuse, spent millions of dollars, and faced severe legal troubles, even being forced to flee to Europe. But the deepest wound came from his toxic relationship with his father, a preacher. The final argument with his father led to his tragic death on April 1, 1984, just one day before his 45th birthday. Marvin Gaye's death was a huge shock to the world, but his music lives on, inspiring generations with its timeless messages and raw emotion. Amanda Peterson lit up the screen in the 1987 film Can't Buy Me Love with her role as the perfect cheerleader, Cindy Manini. With her natural charm and all-American beauty, she became a popular teen idol of the 80s, admired by fans everywhere. However, behind the spotlight was a personal battle with addiction and mental health struggles. As Hollywood's glow faded, Peterson withdrew from the industry and tried to live a life away from it. But life outside the limelight proved much more difficult. Despite her efforts to find peace, her struggles with addiction and emotional issues grew worse. On July 3, 2015, just days before her 44th birthday, Peterson passed away from a drug overdose, leaving behind a legacy of talent, beauty, and unrealized potential. Her story is a heartbreaking reminder of how fleeting fame can be. Gary Coleman, born on February 8, 1968, in Zion, Illinois, became a household name with his role as Arnold Jackson in the hit television series Different Strokes from 1978 to 1986. His catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" became an iconic part of TV history and earned him a worldwide fan base. However, despite achieving early success, Gary Coleman's life was far from easy. After rising to fame, he faced financial struggles and a personal life filled with difficulties. His career and personal life were torn apart by health issues, financial troubles, and family disputes, leading him to lose much of what the world had once given him. Gary's story is a prime example of the hardships that are often hidden behind the Hollywood spotlight. Gary Coleman, the child star famous for his role as Arnold Jackson in Different Strokes, faced significant financial struggles after the show ended. Legal battles with his parents and former managers over the management of his assets led to serious financial disputes, nearly driving him to bankruptcy. After his acting career stalled, Coleman tried various jobs, from working as a security guard to venturing into politics, but none of these offered long-term stability. On May 28, 2010, Gary Coleman passed away at the age of 42 due to a brain hemorrhage, leaving a deep void in the hearts of fans and the television industry. While his life off-screen was filled with challenges, his contributions to the entertainment industry continue to be appreciated. Todd Bridges, known for his role as Willis Jackson in Different Strokes, won the hearts of audiences as a child star. However, despite his early success, Todd's personal life was far from easy. He faced a long battle with addiction, starting in his teenage years and continuing into adulthood. These struggles led to numerous legal issues and a tumultuous relationship with the justice system. Despite these challenges, Todd did not let them define him. He sought help and began his recovery journey with determination. Today, Todd Bridges is a passionate advocate for addiction recovery and mental health awareness. He shares his personal story to inspire others who are facing similar struggles. Although his acting career has had ups and downs, Todd continues to work on film and television projects while using his platform to talk about his journey through addiction. Todd's story is a testament to the power of perseverance and recovery, and he remains a symbol of transformation, encouraging others to seek help and believe in their ability to change. These stories of stars show us that no matter how famous or successful someone may be, life is full of surprises and is not always easy. They've faced immense challenges, from financial ruin to both mental and material losses. But it's these very difficulties that have built their incredible strength and resilience. Regardless of their hardships, their stories continue to inspire us, reminding us that life is not just about success, but also about the relentless pursuit to find ourselves again. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so you won't miss the next exciting video. See you in the next one.